right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Better breeze. The winds get gusty again Tuesday, but this time it warms quickly. Why the wind and warmer temperatures aren't the best combination for our area.
An unthinkable crime. Tonight, what we're learning about the criminal history of the man accused of throwing a puppy out of a third-story window. First tonight, a St. Charles County woman fighting for life after St. Patrick's Day fun turns tragic. More on those stories in just a moment, but first, we're following breaking news out of North St. Louis. You're looking at live images as firefighters battle a massive fire at an historic church. Good evening, I'm Brent Solomon. Mike and Kelly have the night off. That 3-alarm fire broke out about 90 minutes ago at the former St. Augustine's Roman Catholic Church that's on Lismore Street. Flames could be seen shooting from the roof there. No word on what caused the fire or if anyone is hurt. The city of St. Louis owns that vacant building, which is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The building previously caught fire in 2022 and in 2015. We're also following a deadly fire in Jefferson County. It broke out at a home in a remote area of Hillsborough Road, that's near Val's Mines. Firefighters say a mother and her son, who is actually paralyzed, live in that home. The son's body was found in the rubble. The mother was taken to the hospital for treatment. No word on a cause. Now back to our top story. Tonight, an O'Fallon, Missouri woman is in critical condition after a driver hit her. That crash happened Saturday night off of Highway N near Weiss Road during Cottleville's St. Patrick's Day parade. And now the suspected driver is arrested. New tonight, 5 on your side's Laura Bachesky caught up with the police chief and with the woman's family. What are you learning, Laura?
Yeah, Brent, Lindsay Jaco's family says it's been a hard couple of days, and the mom of 2 is still in the ICU fighting for her life.
Cottleville police say upwards of 20,000 people descended on their little city for St. Patrick's Day festivities at various bars and restaurants on Saturday.
So I'm sure that the weather played a big part in the large crowd that showed up.
Chief Dave McCoon says just before 10 p.m. as the day was winding down, they received a call that a woman had been hit by a car on Highway N near Darden Creek Bridge.
And the vehicle just came up behind them, left the roadway, according to the Highway Patrol report, and hit the pedestrian from behind.
That pedestrian was 36-year-old Lindsay Jaco. Police say a 59-year-old woman hit her, and she was arrested at the scene on suspicion of driving while intoxicated.
It could have been completely avoided if that person did not get behind the wheel.
Lindsay's sister Amanda Cooey says receiving the call that she had been rushed to the hospital was a nightmare.
A state of panic. You never want to get a call like that. It's my baby sister. It was hard.
Amanda says Lindsay and a couple of her friends were just out enjoying St. Patrick's Day celebrations and were walking back from the bar on the side of Highway N when her life changed forever.
Walking back to one of her friends' houses, they live close by, and that's when she got hit by a car. Drunk driver. They were arrested, and now she's fighting for her life.
She now has a fractured skull and has already had brain surgery. And while she's still in critical condition, she's made some improvements that give her family hope, including talking, making small movements, and being able to breathe on her own.
She's got 2 little kids that she knows she's fighting for them.
The family also hopes the area where this happened can be improved, maybe with better lighting and a safer space for pedestrians to cross that bridge. There is a GoFundMe to help with medical expenses, which we'll have on KSDK.com.
All right, Laura, thank you. Tonight, St. Louis police continue to look for the driver responsible for a deadly hit and run in Soulard over the St. Patrick's Day weekend. The crash happened around 1:30 Sunday morning near Gravois and Russell, just as nearby bars were closing. Investigators have not released the victim's name. Tonight, we're hearing from the families of the Hazelwood East students involved in the disturbing off-campus fight where one girl slammed another teen's head into the pavement. Our Christine Byers has the latest on the victim's condition, and for the very first time, what the family of the girl who is now in custody is saying tonight.
In their statement, the family attorney for 16-year-old Kaylee Gain wrote that she remains unconscious. 10 days after the assault. They also asked parents to reinforce to their children that violence and bullying are never appropriate. Just hours later, the attorney for the suspect released a statement also calling for an end to bullying and denouncing teen violence. The Gain family also confirmed the 16-year-old suffered a fractured skull that resulted in brain bleeding and swelling. They say they won't know the severity of her injuries until she regains consciousness. Their statement asked parents to, quote, emphasize to their children that the lives of both of the perpetrators of teen violence and the victims of violence can be permanently and forever changed as a result of violent incidents that last only a few minutes. The attorney for the suspect released a statement confirming his client is a 15-year-old Hazelwood East student. He stated she was on the honor roll, played the orchestra, and was on the school's volleyball team. The statement continued, I believe all of the facts and circumstances of this incident are not appropriate to discuss at this time when another child is in such a critical condition. Those facts and circumstances will have their day in court. I joined the call to denounce teen violence and bullying. And most importantly, I joined my client and her family in extending our prayers for this family and their child.
All right, Christine, thank you. Right now, that 15-year-old girl is being held on assault charges. A hearing in the coming weeks could decide whether she will be charged as an adult. 2 GoFundMe pages have raised nearly $370,000 for Kaylee's medical bills. We have links in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. New tonight, this man is behind bars. Investigators say Joe Barrera admitted to stabbing 2 people in the back at a laundromat in O'Fallon, Missouri. The attack yesterday afternoon stemmed from a fight. Homeland Security issued a detainer on Barrera, an undocumented migrant from entering the United States legally through Eagle Pass, Texas, back in 2021. Disturbing new details in Baldwin's first homicide in more than a decade. Investigators say 45-year-old Zachary Childs admitted breaking into his estranged wife's home and shooting her in the head. According to court documents, the couple's young daughter saw her father standing over her mother's body. The couple was going through a divorce.
Our understanding is that there was a previous order of protection, and obviously this is just a tough situation. We are just praying for this family. I can only imagine what they're going through.
Charles is being held without bond on first-degree murder charges. Tonight, a Jefferson County man is charged with committing an unthinkable crime against a 3-month-old puppy. 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend reports this is not the suspect's first brush with the law. And we want to warn you, the allegations in this story are disturbing.
The allegations against Michael Lott have sickened many in Jefferson County. The 44-year-old Peabody man is accused of throwing a 3-month-old puppy out of a window at this Arnold hotel, killing it.
It disgusts me. Animals are like children, and that should never happen.
It's pretty sad. It's terrible that people can do that to an innocent animal.
According to court papers, last October, Lott grabbed the sleeping pit bull puppy named Biddy from its owner's lap, quote, with the intention of causing the owner emotional distress. The two were arguing at the time. The probable cause statement reveals within moments, Lott threw the puppy out of a 3rd-floor window.
It's not fair to do that to an innocent life.
On Friday, prosecutors charged Lott with animal abuse, harassment, and property damage. Records reveal he served prison time in the past for forgery, receiving stolen property, and stealing. Prosecutors issued a warrant for Lott's arrest in the alleged animal abuse. As of Monday, he had not come forward to answer to the charges. According to the probable cause statement, Lott showed no hesitation, second thought, or apprehension prior to throwing the puppy out of the hotel window. Humane Society officials want to stress, if you ever see anyone inflicting harm on an animal, don't hesitate to call police.
A neighbor, a utility worker, a mail carrier, a friend, a family member, that's really the voice of these animals. We have to take care of them.
Robert Townsend, 5 on Your Side.
And if you see anyone abusing an animal, remember you can call the Humane Society's Animal Cruelty Task Force. That's a 24-hour hotline at 314-647-4400. In less than 8 hours, polls will open in the Metro East for the Illinois primary. And while the presidential nominations appear to be a lock, one of the most hotly contested primary races for Congress is playing out in the Illinois 12th Congressional District. Incumbent Mike Bost is seeking a 6th term. Former state lawmaker Darren Bailey is challenging the Marine veteran. Bost made several campaign stops today. Tonight, Bailey rallied voters and addressed the Illinois State Rifle Association in Marion. Polls will open tomorrow at 6 a.m. They will close at 7 p.m. Look for full results, analysis, and live coverage from campaign parties tomorrow night, right here on 5 on Your Side at 10. For everything you need to know before you head to the polls tomorrow, just text the word GUIDE to 314-425-5355. We'll send you a link. Tonight, chilling new video of a Mizzou student minutes before he disappeared. His interaction with police. Doorbell dilemma.
We were really surprised to find that anyone could walk up to one of these doorbells and take it over in a matter of seconds.
Tonight, Consumer Reports revealing security flaws in doorbell security cameras.
Mother Nature is stingy with the moisture this week. Why most of us have to wait about another week to see any substantial amount of rain.
New video tonight showing what could be the last sighting of Mizzou student Riley Strain. Body cam footage shows a Nashville, Tennessee police officer interacting with Strain on the night he disappeared.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
The officer was responding to a burglary call when he saw Strain on Gay Street, just steps away from the Cumberland River. Strain was last seen over a week ago in that same area after he was kicked out of a bar, leaving his fraternity brothers behind. This weekend, 2 people said they found his bank card by the river. Sonar and drone searches of the river have turned up nothing. Police say they do not suspect foul play. Missouri was front and center today at the U.S. Supreme Court. The High Court heard arguments today in the free speech case, Murthy versus Missouri. Both Missouri and Louisiana claim the White House colluded with social media companies to suppress conservative views on COVID and the 2020 election. Most justices appear to have sided with the Biden administration. A decision is expected this summer. Video doorbells make it easy for you to watch who's coming and going, but hackers could be watching too. Tonight, Mike Bush shares a Consumer Reports investigation uncovering the troubling security flaws in some video doorbells sold by the country's biggest retailers.
This is an actual screenshot of a video doorbell accessed from almost 3,000 miles away. Outsiders are not supposed to have access to the doorbell, but the security was so poor that Consumer Reports researchers were able to get it. It was all done as part of a CR investigation into the security of video doorbells.
We were really surprised to find that anyone could walk up to one of these doorbells and take it over in a matter of seconds, and from there actually view screenshots of the doorbell potentially from thousands of miles away.
Consumer Reports' extensive security test revealed a number of video doorbells have serious security flaws that could make users vulnerable to a security breach. They all use the same mobile app called Awit. The devices CR tested are sold under the brand names Ekin and Tuck, but we found the doorbells sold under many other brand names, including Fishbot, Rake Blue, Ando, Luckwolf, and more. Retailers, including Amazon, Walmart, and Sears, along with Shine and Temu, sell them.
Your home is deeply personal and private. If someone is able to view your doorbell camera and see when you come and go, it presents a lot of security risks. For example, an abuser or a stalker could keep tabs on a victim, and it could create a very dangerous situation.
Experts blame the flood of cheap, insecure electronics from Chinese manufacturers being sold in the U.S. as a growing problem.
We're seeing a lot of overseas manufacturers create these obscure, cheap, no-name products and then flooding marketplaces here in the U.S. with them. Retailers do very little to vet these products, and it's very easy to become a seller on one of these online marketplaces.
Consumer Reports reached out to Ekin and Tuck, but have not received a response. If you have a video doorbell that uses the mobile app Awit and it looks like the models shown in this report, Consumer Reports recommends you disconnect it from your home Wi-Fi and remove it from your door. CR has evaluated video doorbells with much better security from brands including Logitech, Simply Safe, and Ring. Mike Bush, 5 on your side.
And Consumer Reports shared its findings with the Federal Trade Commission. The agency declined to comment on what action it might take, noting that its investigations are private. A St. Louis attraction is now open for the season. Today was opening day over at Grant's Farm. It's the earliest the Bush family property has opened in its 70 years in operation. The farm says the longer season is a permanent one.
It's a great place to share with the public, as August Bush Jr. did back in 1954. His love of this property and of this place and the unique attributes, that's something that we want to share with the public more on one side of the year.
Well, Grant's Farm will be open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. this week and next week for spring break. General admission is free. Parking is $16. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joining us now with your weather first forecast. I like what you said, Scott, earlier. Mother Nature being stingy with the moisture.
Yeah, not getting a lot of rainfall this week around St. Louis, and it's been fairly dry too. And you can just hear those goats making all kinds of noises out at Grant's Farm. Yes, spring break. That rolling spring break is here. Beautiful sunshine, but not much in the way of springtime temperatures, at least what we would traditionally want this time of year. We've already cooled back into the upper 20s and lower 30s around the St. Louis area. Doing that with a clear sky and with winds, even though they're still there, a little less active than they have been. Right now, we're going to talk about tomorrow morning. A cold start, a warmer finish for Tuesday. Probably about a 40-degree rebound in our temperatures from tomorrow morning by tomorrow afternoon. Now, part of that is because this air is so dry, plus there's gusty winds, which means there's a higher fire danger, so outdoor burning probably should be postponed tomorrow. And little, if any, rain this week. You see the snow showers around portions of the Great Lakes over into the Ohio Valley. That's where it's cold enough to see some of that wintry precipitation. Then you have some rain and snow back to our southwest. All the while, we're tracking another front coming in from the north and west here, pushing towards us. It'll come through tomorrow. You almost will not notice it tomorrow, other than it's very windy ahead of it and a big warm up, and the cool down behind it's not that dramatic. 33 right now. Your dew point, though, is 15. Again, very dry air. Going to have some static electricity in the air tomorrow morning. 43 was our top temperature today. Coldest temperature we've had this month when we dropped to 27 degrees early this morning. Your overnight lows tonight under that clear sky, mid to upper 20s, but look at the warm up tomorrow. Bright, sunny, breezy, back into the mid to upper 60s. We go into Wednesday. We'll start with sunshine. Yes, Wednesday's a little bit cooler, but sunshine through the day ought to get us back into the mid 50s. We go into Thursday and Friday. Could there be a little bit of rain or some sprinkle action here? Sure. Is it a big deal? No. There's not going to be much. As we look into the weekend, we do have a better chance for rain arriving later on Sunday. We may be a little warm with our Sunday temperatures, but it's at least at or above average temperature-wise on this Sunday. Most of that rain chance will hold off until Sunday evening into the overnight hours and taking us on into Monday. And by Monday into Monday night, really Sunday night into Monday night, Brett, we could be looking at some substantial amounts of rain across the area. We say that, but, you know, we're hopeful. When in a drought, sometimes it's hard to get that rain in here, but we're hopeful. Now, tomorrow, about 24 hours from now is when spring equinox is. Yeah. So Wednesday will be our first full day of spring.
How about that? But it doesn't quite feel like it.
Not as mild as it has been.
Yeah. All right, Scott, thank you much. Well, Frank is off today, but don't worry. Here's Holden Kerwicki with sports.
Well, Brent, March Madness is just beginning for the Fighting Illini, but they're not the only team bringing home some hardware. Well, the Big Ten champs were outdone by a team of sixth graders. Next in sports.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
The Blues are riding a 4-game winning streak as they prepare to welcome in the Avalanche into Enterprise Center tomorrow night. However, I wouldn't blame you if you're already looking ahead at the Notes' chances of sneaking into the Stanley Cup playoffs. Above the line are the current wild card teams. Now, below the line, 4 points stand between the Blues and that last spot. After a couple of weeks of playing up and down hockey, interim coach Drew Bannister feels his team is ready to face Colorado tomorrow, but won't be devastated if they don't win.
We're starting to play well, better, and we seem to always get up for teams that are, highly competitive like Colorado. So I think it's gonna be a good indication, but it's depending on how the game goes. There's still lots of hockey to be played here in front of us.
Taking flight, Card Spring Training, sponsored by Wood Basement Systems.
The Cardinals are enjoying their final day off before they break camp on the way to beginning the season a week from Thursday. This offseason, there's been a ton of talk about the work Nolan Arenado put into improving his play both at the plate and at the hot corner, where for the first time in 10 years, he didn't win a Gold Glove. The 32-year-old seems destined to end up in Cooperstown, but with the workload that he took on this offseason, is there ever a time when baseball isn't on his mind?
There's times, I think about my swing all the time, and, I'm thinking about my swing at home. The only time I'm probably not thinking about my swing is when I'm with my baby and my wife and my family, but sometimes it creeps in my head, too, about my swing. I catch myself doing it when we're watching, Moana and all these movies with the baby, so.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
After 2 weeks on the road, the City Reds are back home in St. Louis looking to get healthy ahead of a big matchup with DC United at City Park on Saturday. It seems with each passing day, there are more questions about the status of Tim Parker. The Star center back missed Saturday's game for precautionary reasons after tweaking his back in warm-ups. The result? Well, City gave up 3 goals and fell behind for the 3rd consecutive game before forcing a tie. Slow starts have become a trend that head coach Bradley Carnell would like to come to an end.
We'd like to get ahead and show a convincing performance that way. But still, we've integrated crucial players in the team. I think we've taken steps forward as a group from last year. The league has grown, the competition has grown. So for us, it's great challenges.
Speaking of teams looking to shake off slow starts, the Illinois Fighting Illini may have won the Big Ten tournament, but if you watch them play, it's easy to understand if you find their style of play just a little unsettling. The Illini fell behind in all 3 games they played in Indianapolis. That's something the 3-seeded Illini will have to avoid against Morehead State, and that's a team that plays a slow, deliberate style of basketball.
The regular season is over in the Big Ten, and thank goodness we don't have to see another Big Ten team for a while, but yeah, we got to go prepare, and we'll put a bow on this with the ability to carry the trophy in the Ubben practice facility.
On the hardwood, I just wanted to give a shout out to the Parkway South Junior Patriots 6th grade team. Over the weekend, these young men took down Fort Zumwalt West in the semifinals before beating St. Joseph by a final of 50-43 to win the Missouri Middle School State Championship. They finished the regular season with an outstanding 32-3 record. And Brent, that's something those young men are going to remember the rest of their lives.
Oh, yeah. You can see the pride on their faces in that photo, too.
I can't wait to see them on 5 on Your Sideline here in a few years.
Oh, yeah. They'll get there. Thank you, Holden.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Well, Busch Stadium will soon be a sea of red again. But a new list suggests it's not the tsunami of Major League Baseball. Let's go ahead and get you back to that breaking news we brought you at the top of the hour. St. Louis firefighters are still on the scene of that massive fire at an historic abandoned church in North City. Around 65 firefighters were called to the 3-alarm fire at the former St. Augustine's Roman Catholic Church on Lismore Street. We're told the fire is now under control. There are no reports of any injuries. The cause remains under investigation. The concerns of firefighters now are the church's 250-foot steeple and compromised timber inside. This is the 3rd fire at that vacant church since 2022. Well, the Paris Games are coming to the silver screen. NBC and AMC have teamed up to show live Olympic events this summer at select theaters nationwide.
Of course, you can also catch the games right here on 5 on Your Side from the comfort of your couch. The St. Louis Cardinals are always a hot ticket, but they're not the hottest ticket in Major League Baseball. According to ticket sales on StubHub, the Cardinals are the 8th most in-demand team. The Dodgers, Yankees, Braves, Phillies, and Cubs are the top 5. The Dodgers-Cardinals game in LA on March 28th is the top in-demand home opener. The Cards home opener against the Marlins on April 4th is number 3. Well, St. Louis just got a whole lot sweeter. Bluebell ice cream hit local store shelves today. To celebrate the local launch, the company released a new flavor based on the St. Louis classic, gooey butter cake. So in case you are in need of a little dessert right now, we know where to go and what to get. Ice cream. That's all of our time at 10, my friends. The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon, is next. Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 in the morning. Thanks for the company.